A large portion of Namibian youth don't have access to proper career guidance. And the sad part is some of them don't know what a career path is. We asked a number of students what they would like to become one day, and some gave answers like they would like to become fathers, taxi drivers, Uncle Bass. Growing up in the northern parts of Namibia, there were many limitations. We were taught to honor our parents. We looked up to them as role models, and the majority of us wanted to become just like them. Our parents played a vital role in our educational lives. They ensured that we go to school on a daily basis. They clothed us and fed us on the same. And interestingly enough, some were also involved in making choices for our career paths. Now, some of these choices were chosen based on the high figures in the community at that time. Some were chosen based on their friends, and some were chosen based on their remuneration. What this does is that it creates a limitation in the range of professions that we are going to have. And as a result of that, we will be forced to go and import specialists to come and fill up the gaps instead of producing our own. This is a picture of a young me back in primary school. I wanted to become Superman, but after jumping off the roof a number of times, I realized that flying was going to be a big challenge. Going ahead to 2009, I found myself being the only student that graduated from the University of Namibia's Visual Arts department that year. Now, this does not necessarily mean that my colleagues were incompetent. Some of them lost interest along the way, and some needed major guidance throughout the course with their assignments and tests. This actually causes a delay for young people to graduate on time due to challenges of this nature. The following year, 2010, my big brother graduated as an electrical engineer from the University of Cape Town. Now, this is one of the top institutions on the continent, and for you to make it out there, you need to invest much of your precious time through your studies, and you also need a heavy investment in terms of finances. He went on to work for about 3 years, and in 2014, he found himself going back to school, but this time around, he went to study something different. Events of this nature cause dysfunction among our society because young people would have to spend much time trying to figure out what exactly they like through a try and error while they're already doing their first undergraduate. And they will then go back afterwards to start over again. Instead of just focusing on one career path and you build yourself up in the job market and even contribute to the country's economy through means of taxation and others. About the same time that my brother went to school, I started asking myself questions as to how many youths out there are going through this kind of events. How many high school learners are currently still trying to figure out what career path to take? And how many college and university students are struggling to make it out to graduation? And how many university and college students are busy with their first undergraduate, aiming to finish so that they could go back and start over again? After asking myself these questions, I decided to do some research. And I came across a study that was conducted at the University of Namibia and the Namibian University of Science and Technology. And it indicated that about 60% of students that graduated from the Namibian University of Science and Technology that year ended up finding employment in sectors that were not even related to what they studied. There were also challenges experienced at the high school level, whereby on an annual basis we have been creating very disappointing results. There are also challenges amongst the unemployment, especially the young people. So I knew that if I was going to find an alternative or solution to this, it has to be opposed to the current situation. As we are currently having institutions and organizations that are hosting annual career expos, which are expensive, and they are also not accessible by all students, as they are only accessed by students coming from privileged backgrounds and those that are already geographically located next to these institutions. The ones in rural areas and others are left in the dark to find their way. These expos are also limited because they're having a shorter lifetime span. Mostly they are hosted for about a week or two, and after that, all the reference is gone. So I decided to come up with a solution, and yes, I found it. So I would like to introduce you to what I believe is the solution to this. And the solution is Tank, an accessible platform that is aimed to assist the youth in all the challenges I mentioned earlier. Tank, a name that was derived from an Oshigambo word that means growth, is a 24/7 digital accessible platform that will be accessed from various digital devices, including mobile phones, laptops, iPads, desktop computers, and even non-smartphones to accommodate those that live in rural areas. We are also going to have an audio recorded technology to accommodate the students and learners that are currently visually impaired. So how is this going to work? Let us put ourselves in the shoes of a learner that aspires to become an accountant one day. So they'll have to access the platform by selecting on Career Guide at the top of the screen. And after that, they'll have to select on Finance, as you can see on image number 1. After selecting that, you will get a list of all the professions that can be found under the finance career field, and you have then to select accountant in this case. As you can see on screen number 2, upon doing that, you will then get a background scope of what an accountant does and what you require to become an accountant in school. And in order to also inspire the youth, we will have profiles of successful individuals from each profession, as you can see it on the last screen. For the ones that are currently having challenges building up their career in the job market, we will accommodate them by having a platform where they can actually have accessibility to information from various organizations. In this case, you have to access the platform by selecting on Career Build at the top of the screen. And upon doing that, you select the field of study that you're in, and you'll get a list of various organizations, and you'll then have to select an organization of your interest. And upon doing that, you'll get a background scope of what that organization does, how you can get there, and accessible information that can be downloaded and shared to others in forms of images, and this will be information such as bursaries, vacancies, and scholarships. For the ones that are having challenges with their schoolwork, they'll have to access the platform by selecting on Tutor Lesson, and upon doing that, you'll then select the field of study that you are in. And upon doing that, you'll be given results of tutors that are geographically located near you. So let's take, for instance, a student or a learner that resides in Katutura. They will select the platform, the field of study, and the results will be derived according to where they stay. So in this case, it will be, let's say, math tutors that are geographically located next to the vicinity of Katutura. Tank is my and your accessible mentor to allow us to build the future and prepare the youth for the better tomorrow. Because we can only prepare the young people by allowing them to access information, and in this way, we are also giving them the freedom. Because I am a strong believer that preventing someone from accessing information is mental slavery. Thank you.